getting forward and also another goal threat.
Well, the Strootman change is confirmed. We'll try and confirm the other as soon as possible, as Osato about to get us underway in this second half. The ball in play in the second half of the Stadio Olimpico. Roma 0, Lazio 2. Goals by Mauri in the 25th minute and Felipe Anderson in the 29th. Anderson involved in both. After going 24 games without a Serie A goal, he's now scored in four goals in his last 5 games. There is confirmation of both changes as the double substitution is on for Rudy Garcia. Found themselves in a similar hole not too long ago. It was December 6th against Sassuolo, and Roma were down 2-0. Battled back to get a point in a 2-2 draw. It's been 85 games since 2012 when they last won from a 2-0 hole. Lazio now in possession with the same 11 on the pitch. As Marchetti in goal, a backline of Basta, Vrij, Cana, and Radu. Biglia, Parolo, Mauri in midfield. Candreva, Djordjevic, and Felipe Anderson up top. And that's Morgan as Sanctis coming out to cut out a dangerous chance for Lazio. For Roma, it's Sanctis in goal, a backline of Maicon, Manolas, Astori, and Holebas, Rossi, and Pjanic with the new man, Strootman. Ljajic joining Totti and Iturbe up top.
Very curious to see how both the changes impact the squad right away. More of a goal-scoring threat with Ljajic. He has 6 goals this season, the 23-year-old, and loves getting inside the box and has very good trickery as well to get by the defender. Should be a nice compliment to the likes of Totti and Iturbe up front.
He's got 6 goals in the season, Ljajic, and take a look as Roma trying to get one back. Here is Ljajic from outside the 18. Trying to dribble his way through 3, instead laying it off for Maicon toward the back post. And Pjanic was there, just knotted away by Dusan Basta, who has been winning that individual battle. Astori, a clean tackle on Felipe Anderson, says Osato. Now Iturbe looking to get around Basta. Ljajic inside the 18. Strootman gets his first touch. Across for Totti, who's pulled one back. The captain is half the deficit and now stands alone as the top scorer in Serie A in the Derby della Capitale. It's his 10th Derby goal. It's his 3rd of the season, and it's Roma 1, Lazio 0 on 48 minutes.
What an incredible achievement for Francesco Totti. Great ball played in as well, finding him on the far post by Kevin Strootman, the man brought in from Rudy Garcia. That chest move worked, and Totti takes it first time into the far post, and Marchetti was going the other way. Always such a difficult save for the goalkeeper to make as he's moving one way and the ball goes another. And a great achievement to be the top scorer, as you mentioned, Andres, in the Rome derby. Who else could it have been?
Now just one back of the derby scoring charts in all competitions is Dino da Costa. Has 11 goals against Lazio. He scored 2 in the Coppa, 9 in Serie A. Totti came into this contest tied on 9 with not just Dino Costa, but also Marco Del Vecchio.
A master stroke by Rudy Garcia. The halftime talk worked. He put in the 2 changes. He knew something had to change. Oftentimes when the change is made at the half, it's when a manager's fed up and he knows that definitely needs a different shape or look in the whole second 45 minutes of action. And right away, Kevin Strootman brought in from the left with his favorite foot. Beautiful cross to find Francesco Totti. So great job, Rudy Garcia.
Talk about paying dividends, not just that Strootman gets the assist, but Ljajic immediately looking an absolute threat as he gets 2 early touches inside the 18, leading up to the goal. Maicon was trying to find Totti, who's playing in a much more advanced position early on in the second half. Totti, Maicon has Pjanic, goes for Totti. The heel flick back for the Brazilian, touched away by Radu inside the 18. Now Pjanic squared across. He was looking for Ljajic, and Candreva clears it out of danger.
Oh, and he had Ljajic open. Had he been able to pull it back a little bit more accurately, Ljajic was open to take it first time. And what a comeback that would have been within 5 minutes of the second half for the Giallorossi.
Totti with his back to goal now. Almost by ESP, looking to find Ljajic. And he's done so. Can he keep it in? And he avoids the goal kicker, does he? Another look as Ljajic involved on the play.
Yeah, laid it off to Strootman, and Strootman, perfect cross to just bypass the entire Lazio defense, and Stefan Radu just didn't have the step on the old-timer. The 38-year-old Francesco Totti, absolutely eternal.
Only the first assist this season for Kevin Strootman, who's playing just his 4th match for Roma in Serie A. This campaign, of course, missing much of the season due to injury.
And that's what you don't want to see. Bit of naughtiness from the fans. We know that this derby has had a history both inside and outside the confines of the stadium. Hoping for a clean end to this match.
A little apart from Borsato. Not sure if it's time wasting. It is Federico Marchetti, who gets his 4th yellow this season, and that means he'll miss the next match for Lazio. They're set to take on Torino in the Coppa d'Italia on Wednesday. And after that, they return to Serie A action against Napoli on Sunday. What a match that'll be, especially if this scoreline holds. Of course, Napoli taking on Juventus later today at the Stadio San Paolo here on beIN Sports. One back by Lucas Biglia. Mauri sending it forward. And this plays pass, but it does find its way to Candreva. Marked by Holebas. Candreva looking to deliver the cross, and does so. Djordjevic was the intended target. Now Strootman playing it out for Ljajic. The two substitutes combining, as they did on the goal. Strong by Strootman, finding Iturbe. Totti on the near side. Iturbe from a long way out, forcing the save from Marchetti. It's a different Roma in the second half.
And just listen to the crowd. That sure woke them up. Iturbe cutting it on his favored foot and just blasts it. It is central, but still forces the parry. Marchetti's not going to dare to grab that one first time.
Near post. Cleared out. Felipe Anderson against Iturbe. Anderson past Iturbe, but given away to Maicon. Now back for Rossi. Maicon will look to cross. Chipped over the top, looking for the back post. Totti nodding it down. Ljajic picking it up. Strootman now. Maicon. As Iturbe short, will go rinse and repeat toward that back post. Basta gets another touch. Cleared out by Parolo. Sent back in by Astori. And look out now as Felipe Anderson in a foot race. Daniele De Rossi gets there first. Now Morgan De Sanctis. You know, beaten twice today, De Sanctis, and definitely deserves some of the blame for the 2-0 as Felipe Anderson struck it hard and well and picked out the corner, but from a long way out. And did seem to be a late reaction from De Sanctis, but worth noting he came into today as arguably the best goalkeeper in Serie A when you look at the numbers. Only 8 goals conceded before this.
And that's why you don't look at the numbers with goalkeepers.
Oh, but 84% save percentage was joint best in the Italian top flight. With 41 saves prior to this game, and 10 clean sheets for Morgan De Sanctis coming into today in 15 appearances. It's an early cross. Iturbe the only man near it.
Definitely had his troubles, De Sanctis, this season. Remember 2 years ago with Roma, so solid, but both in Europe and more Europe than in domestic action. He has made a few blunders. Still a reliable goalkeeper in between the pipes.
Parolo measured up, thought better of taking the shot. Candreva now looking for the cross. Tried to deliver back post with both Mauri and Djordjevic there. De Sanctis keeping it in play. Speaking of blunders, does make the clearance. Candreva. Well, better of that second touch. Knew it would be outside the box. Would have given up that free kick.
That's not going to be measured on the stat page, is it?
Excellent point. Saw the danger. Didn't give up the corner kick. Put it out to touch. Wasn't pretty. Wasn't orthodox. Astori wide for Holebas. Pjanic Does well to get past the first defender. A through ball in the pace for Ljajic. He's got Totti inside the 18. Last touch by Vrij, giving up a corner kick.
Slightly missed hit there, a bit behind the run. Once again, a great burst of pace from Iturbe.
Third corner of the match for Roma. 10 minutes down in the second half. Delivered near side. Totti the intended target. Biglia was there. Holebas picking it back up. He'll test from range. Won't put it on target. What a strike by Iturbe earlier. It was central, but it was very difficult for Marchetti to deal with. Just dipping underneath the bar. Strong by Strootman to win it for Roma. Lays it off for Holebas. And suddenly it's Lazio who cannot keep possession. Going to go against Strootman as he fouled Mauri. Here's Biglia venturing forward, shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Play on, says Rosato, and it's picked up by Ljajic. He and Strootman changing the face of the game for Roma.
Strootman especially can be a deep-lying playmaker if needed, but likes to get forward as well. It was such a great pickup from PSV.
Totti, as Cana keeps it in. Mauri. Tit for tat with the heel flick. Felipe Anderson, an assist and a goal today. Picking up steam now. He'll take on Maicon. The cross, an early one. Pjanic. Lobbed over for Maicon. Finding Rossi under pressure from Mauri. Finds a release ball via Pjanic. Booted forward for Totti. Chested down and given away, but a foul from behind as Totti gets the call. A free kick for Roma. Played too quickly as the ball hadn't settled yet.
Totti plays by his own rules, Andres.
Look of indignation from Daniele Orsato. Seems to suggest you know better.
Take a look at some of the injury problems that Roma have had. It's been quite remarkable. They even lost Leandro Castan with a brain problem, actually. Needed surgery.
Strong challenge from Miralem Pjanic. And the whistle goes against the young Bosnian.
So right now, Roma sold Mehdi Benatia in the summer to Bayern Munich, lost Leandro Castan, and many were wondering what this new-look center-back pairing would be like, but Mapu Yanga and Biwa, brought over from the Premier League, has done well as Manolas and also Davide Astori.
Candreva, back for Parolo. And again, it's Candreva. He's got options to either side. Djordjevic to his left. We'll find Basta to his right. The cross from Basta, low and toward Candreva. Redirected off the post. And Roma dodge a bullet. Strootman chipped over the top. Good ball for Iturbe, who's got space in front of him. Totti joining on him. Ljajic going toward the back post, trying to cut inside of Sana. Not just the tackle, but also the pass from Sana to Candreva.
Great work from Sana, and he's had Iturbe's number all day. And here's the cross from Basta, perfectly timed. And seeing Stefano Mauri, even though he was initially deployed in the midfield, he's gotten forward very often. Very much the most dangerous person in the box, him rather than Djordjevic.
Well, both captains really have played a little bit closer to goal, and at least getting their touches closer to goal in this second half. Mauri and Francesco Totti. Here's Mauri, further away from goal. Thought better of the cross. It's back for Felipe Anderson. A bit more passive from the Brazilian of late. speaking of passive, all the way back from Marchetti. Strootman. Chipped over for Totti. Has he beaten the flag? Totti, the flag goes up. Offside, Francesco Totti.
That was a great idea. Once again, it is Strootman. What an influence he's had with his playmaking ability. Already an assist and nearly another one for the captain.
Just past the hour mark. Roma 1, Lazio 2. Felipe Anderson setting up Mauri with a brilliant chip over the top on a counter-attack in the 25th minute to make it 1. Finishing 1 himself to make it 2 in the 29th minute. And Totti pulling it back for his 10th derby goal to cut the deficit in half early into the second half. 48th minute. Contact against Dusan Basta. The foul will go against Roma. Strootman sticking a foot and seemed to win the position against Dusan Basta.
Caught him with the trailing foot, just raised his leg there to catch Basta as he was wriggling away. Seemed to have won that battle as he was shielding Basta off the ball. Well, that's what Strootman brings. Box-to-box type midfielder who can do work both ways on the pitch. Need to see how Lazio react. Will they start sitting back a bit more timidly or go for the jugular here in the last 30 minutes?
Candreva does test Morgan in the Sanctis.
Talk about going for the jugular. Great effort there. So much power behind it, and almost reminiscent of the shot from Iturbe, which nearly caught out Marchetti. Just have to tip that one over the crossbar. Don't take a risk, and trying to handle that one first time.
Candreva's corner delivered toward the penalty spot where Cana was trying to get there, misjudged his jump. Won back by Radu, but illegally as he fouled Francesco Totti. Morgan de Sanctis made that save from Candreva on the free kick. Worth mentioning that prior to giving up that opening goal to Mauri, he'd gone 367 minutes in Serie A without conceding a goal. December 6th against Sassuolo. The last time that he had been beaten before this game, it was also the last time that this Roma side battled back from a 2-0 deficit. Managed to get a point there. Can they take anything from this one? Manolas. Maicon. Outside of his boot, finding Miralem Pjanic. Strootman. Laying it off for Rossi. Suddenly the possession game of Roma bottling Lazio back. The cross is redirected and back into the net as Totti strikes again. 64th minute, make it 11 in the derby, and we're tied at 2-2. Joint top scorer in the Derby della Capitale in all competitions. Game on at the Stadio Olimpico.
Absolute mayhem at the Stadio Olimpico. Totti, great positioning on both crosses coming in from the left. And both times he reaches out a leg and he's the first one to it. He's the oldest player on the pitch. And still showing that athleticism, reaching out for it. First time on the volley. What a finish. Similar to the first goal he scored earlier in the half. And now, maybe sending out a tweet. What's he doing? It doesn't matter. He's Totti. He can take a selfie.
A selfie with the curva?
Yeah, he's taking a selfie. That's the first time I've seen that. He's the captain. He gets what he wants, and that time he wanted a smartphone. Let's take another look at the cross in from Holebas. At first I thought it was deflected out and nearly identical to the first goal scored by Totti. Beautiful placement from the Greek international to find Totti on the back post, and Marchetti flailing his arms from point-blank range. Had no idea where that one was going. Bandaged eyes, and Totti hits the side netting once again. What a comeback from the Giallorossi, and who else but Francesco Totti.
Well, the substitution is on. Mentioned Felipe Anderson a bit passive in the second half. He's been replaced now. An interesting decision from Stefano Pioli. And more to come as Miroslav Klose about to make his way on for Djordjevic as well.
Well, speaking of experience, you just saw what the experience of Totti means, and now Pioli says, all right, I see your Totti, I'll raise you a Klose. All-time leading goal scorer in the World Cup coming in. Not a bad player to have on the substitute list, I'll tell you that much. And Klose knows a thing or two about scoring in moments like this.
Well, Genji Onazi, the man to come on in place of Anderson. And the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history, replacing Djordjevic. Roma 2, Lazio 2. Basta, off his chest. Moving forward toward Candreva, intercepted, one back now by Ljajic. Manolas.
What a game. Certainly has not disappointed. We were expecting something special in a derby of this magnitude.
Chance now is out of Ljajic's pressing forward. He's got Basta marking. Options inside the 18, including Pjanic short. Played toward the 6-yard box. Iturbe the closest to it. Marchetti dealt with it well, but Lazio are certainly on the back foot.
Right now, Roma certainly showing more character here in the second half. It would have required something spectacular, and they've come through. Rudy Garcia's changes have really been a stroke of brilliance.
Good challenge from Pjanic, even better on the clearance, finding a teammate in Ljajic. Now Holebas. Two substitutions for either side. 2 goals for either side. It's a brand new game at the Olimpico. And of the two sides, it's hard to argue that Roma don't seem closer to a winner. That said, Lazio very dangerous on the counter. Just beaming with confidence, but a misplaced pass giving the ball back to Lucas Biglia. Mauri magnetizes the ball, looking for Onazi over the top. Knotted down by Manolas. Picked up by Maicon. He's got the Rossi short. He'll play it forward with Iturbe, trying to turn in front of the Argentine. Biglia wins it back. Pjanic takes it from Roma. Maicon outside of the boot, finding Iturbe. Totti off his chest. Fending off the challenge, brought down from behind. And the whistle does come from Orsato. The foul goes against Parolo.
Has to be one of the most memorable derby della Capitale for Francesco Totti. A brace at this stage in his career. And what else has he got in store for everybody? Still plenty of time this match, and you have to think that this result is not going to remain the way it is by the time 90 minutes are up.
Pjanic to deliver the free kick. Going toward the back post. Strootman was there. Basta appealing it was last touched by Strootman. It wasn't. It's out to touch for Roma. As we inch ever closer to the 70th minute. Holebas for Totti. Under pressure from Onazi. Brought down by Holebas. He's got Basta and Onazi to beat. It's going to be a goal kick for Marchetti.
Holebas really been taking essentially a winger position, getting forward so much more in the second half. And here's what happens when he does get forward. He's a great crosser of the ball. And what a lovely ball that was to find the captain. And Totti celebrates with his passionate fans and showing off his new phone in a selfie.
Well, 2 of the best celebrations all season, again very subjective, have come from Roma.
No Totti, no selfie.
The other being Alessandro Florenzi. jumping into the stands to hug his nonna. Both here at the Stadio Olimpico. Totti walking a tightrope on the near side, finding Manolas. 70th minute of play. 2 goals from Lazio in the opening half via Mauri and Felipe Anderson. 2 goals from Roma in the second half. Both from Francesco Totti in the 48th and 65th. His 6th and 7th of the campaign. His 10th and 11th in the derby. No look pass. Finds its target. Totti finds Strootman. Gives it away to Basta. Pressured from behind, but finds an outlet in Radu. Manolas. Onazi was putting pressure close in now, applying a bit of his own. Maicon. Pjanic. And Rossi. Quality pass for Strootman. Astori finds Holebas. He's got Iturbe short. Holebas trying to get past Dusan Basta, but good work from the Serbian to deny him. Pjanic. Holebas as the ball retreats for Astori. Here's Manolas. Neat work from Ljajic, accidentally finding Francesco Totti. Dizzying possession game from Roma, but not yet finding that final ball. There it is for Ljajic outside of the 18. Cut back inside, laid off for Strootman. The shot is on and dealt with well by Marchetti.
This is just an unrecognizable side from the first half, where it was as in the opening 45 minutes from Roma.
Well, it's here now.
Great possession play, lovely link up. That final through ball now on point. In the first 45 minutes, we saw it overhit time and time again, and now showing why they are second on the table with plenty of points to spare.
Well, Daniele De Rossi picking up his 5th yellow card this season. He's the 3rd Roma player to be booked. Only Iturbe and De Rossi, rather 4th, is Pjanic also carrying a yellow card.
Great way to get Strootman involved. Lovely layoff there from Ljajic. No, Strootman has a cannon. It is central. That was going either way. A few meters, it would have been 3-2.
That makes it twice this season now that Roma have been, at least, let's call it partially recovered from a 2-0 deficit. December 6th against Sassuolo. Today against Lazio, but just under 20 minutes left to find the game winner for either side. Holebas running into a brick wall in the form of Biglia. Or rather, Vrij. It was Biglia who picked the ball up and sent it forward for Candreva. Miroslav Klose joining the counter-attack as well. Mauri just behind. But plenty of Roma shirts back as well. It's played out as I do believe Vrij needs some attention. The same for Iturbe.
Looks like Holebas there down.
Oh,
the left back, yeah. Hard to tell from that angle, Andres. Had to twist my head upside down.
His face was all kind of contorted. Did seem to be in some real pain, and he clutches his knee right away.
Looks like they'll be fine, though. Good to see that. It's also been a bit cleaner here, the game. Saw tempers flaring in the opening half, but now it's just a great game of football.
You wonder how many were at home yelling at Rudy Garcia through their television sets before praising him in this second half.
Yeah, here's another look at Holebas getting the step on Candreva. That lovely first burst of acceleration and picking out Totti on the far post. And Totti showing, you know what, the crosses should be coming in. I can play the aerial game. Maybe not with my head, but showing that he can reach out with his feet. And at 38 years old, still such a great athlete and showing plenty of dexterity there to score a brace.
The Vrij will limp off. Both players will get a bit of medical attention and will have to leave the pitch momentarily before coming back on. There, the substitution confirmed essentially, as the Vrij won't be able to continue. Four Serie A goals this season for Francesco Totti as he doubles his tally
It's interesting. Cavanda coming in probably means that Radu would move to the center of the defense, and Cavanda is a fullback. Seems like the most obvious tactical change.
Cavanda, who is a yellow card away from suspension, will have to be careful over the next 15 minutes. Lucas Biglia winning it back. Interestingly enough, you look back at the history of this derby, the record for most goals in a single match held by current Fiorentina manager Vincenzo Montella. He scored 4 in a 5-1 Roma victory over Lazio back in March of 2002. Candreva just had a step on Davide Astori.
Hope it's nothing serious for Stefan de Vrij. He's been solid for Lazio the past few match days, and now it's a more offensive, more pacey look for the Biancocelesti, with the Romanian probably moving to the center and allowing Cavanda to make the overlapping runs as the fullback.
And that is the final substitution for Stefano Pioli. Garcia still with 1 card left in his deck. Holebas. Cuts inside of Basta, beyond Parolo, still Holebas, finding his pass forward into the area as Pjanic was looking for Ljajic. Mauri in a foot race with Iturbe, or rather Strootman. There is the first touch for Cavanda, trying to get past Maicon, still battling. The Brazilian wins it. Pjanic chests it down for De Rossi, finding Holebas, who lays it off for Astori. Pjanic. Manolas. Eyes forward, looking for options, finding Maicon. Inside to Totti. Strootman. Iturbe desperate for a long diagonal. He's tucked into the far side, but just a patient build-up from the Giallorossi. Starving Lazio of possession. Holebas getting past his marker. Cana with a poor clearance. Closer. A rare touch for the German international. Over the top as he picks out his pass to Onazi. Touched away by Astori. Already considered immortal.
Look at Totti, look at the running. It's incredible.
Yeah, I was about to say already considered immortal, and he just continues to stamp on his legacy. Cavanda cutting inside. Inside of his man, toward the outside, finding Radu. Chips forward, good combination now is Mauri giving chase. Astori has it covered, it's into the hands of the Sanctis. Holebas. Onazi does well to deny the pass, but it's out to touch for Roma.
Yeah, final 15 minutes or so of the match. This is when we see more tired legs and could see a defensive miscue. Both teams have really given it their all so far in the opening 78 minutes or so, and it's been such a joy to watch. Really expending every bit of energy.
De Rossi's ball picking out Maicon into space on the near side. He's got an entourage as well. Ljajic is making the run toward the back post. Pjanic just beyond his reach.
Oh, and he had Pjanic all alone, just slightly overhit.
Basta just catapulting it forward, giving it right back to Roma. Here's Manolas. Will they go with Maicon again? They want to. Candreva has spotted it. The ball finds its way there anyway. On the way, Mattia Destro loosening up as he is about to make his introduction.
It's about time.
Question, will it be for Totti? 10 minutes left. Francesco Totti, will this be his final passage of play? Switching flanks as he finds Maicon again. The overlapping run is on from Pjanic. Adam Ljajic, the through ball. Ljajic, a little bit of a heavy touch into the 18-yard box. Biglia. Cavanda. Denied by Maicon. The second effort just booted forward. Onazi. Out to touch for Roma. Disjointed in this second half from Lazio. And here comes the final substitution for Rudy Garcia. Destro, another hometown kid, to make his appearance in the final 10 minutes of the derby. Yeah. It's Iturbe who he replaces, and so we do get to see Totti side by side.
You think Totti wants to leave this match? He decides he wants to stay on.
That aside, Iturbe does have a yellow card. Picked it up in the 32nd minute and has been somewhat marginalized.
Yeah. Different look now. Expect to see Totti maybe playing a bit off of Destro. Seen him play on the wing a few years ago, but now more of a central role for him. More out-and-out striker.
Now playing in his third Derby della Capitale, Destro. He has scored against Lazio. He knows what it's like to celebrate a goal against the other capital club, but not yet for Roma. And this place, half of this place will absolutely erupt if he ends up getting the game winner.
What if Totti gets a hat trick?
Lazio dangerous on the counter. Would not discount the Biancocelesti as of yet, but so far absolutely starved of possession in this second half as Roma continue their patient approach. De Rossi perhaps too patient as he plays the ball back for Sanctis. Maicon has Totti in front, trying to get around Cavanda. Does so, but not around Candreva.
Tell you what, the Maicon from his days at Inter would have gotten that ball first before Candreva. Still a workhorse, and many people thought he was finished when he went to Manchester City. Looked all out of gas, and this move has really revitalized him.
De Rossi wins possession back. Astori sending the ball forward. Ljajic unable to get there as Cavanda shields him off. It was Destro actually the intended target. Parolo. Closer. And Basta. Good switch of play as Parolo is the one chasing. Maicon gets there first. Really gives it back.
Telling everyone, stay calm, tranquilli. Message from the veteran.
Even telling the referee. Oh, what a turn by Totti. Brought down. And foul's going to go against him. Rather against Lazio. It was Biglia who committed the foul. Radu was there as well, but
that replay didn't look intentional. Maybe just caught an elbow from Biglia right on the ribs.
Well, Garcia will be hoping that he's just had the wind knocked out of him because he's already made all three substitutions. He still has 6.5 minutes and change to play. And his most influential player is sucking wind. Half the deficit in the 48th minute. Leveled the score in the 65th.
Yeah, he took a hard shot there. Yep. The knee right into the lower back, it looked like, of Totti, who's been running more than we see from some players that are half his age.
Final 6 minutes of the Derby della Capitale. It has absolutely lived up to expectations. Lazio magical in the opening half. Felipe Anderson continuing his incredible form, but a bit of a dip in the second half. Substituted out. And it was Francesco Totti taking over in the second stanza. This man, Rudy Garcia, pulling the right strings. bringing on Strootman and Ljajic. And it was the two substitutes combined to set up Totti's first.
Seems like we've nearly forgotten about Felipe Anderson. He was the star of the first half. Totti can't argue that he was the star of the second half. Really been a tale of two halves. Completely different display from the Giallorossi.
Finally back in play as Totti receives a bit of treatment on the side. It does look as if he will continue. Level on the score sheet, level on shots, almost level on shots on target. It's 9-9 in attempts, 2-4 on target. Both of the on-target shots have been from Francesco Totti, and both have beaten Marchetti. The 14th and 15th goals conceded by the Lazio goalkeeper this season. Earlier, it was Lazio ending the over 300-minute shutout streak of Morgan de Sanctis. Final 4.5 minutes as Pjanic gets us back underway. Delivered toward the penalty spot. It was Davide Astori who got a touch. As things stand, Roma will be picking up their 4th draw of the campaign. It would climb level on points with Juve, pending Juve's match with Napoli later today.
Yeah, that's a good point. Juve definitely don't have 3 points guaranteed away at the San Paolo. So it could be the first time if Roma are able to get all 3 points that they go top of the Bianconeri.
Lazio would remain 9 points back of their capital rivals, but would climb 1 point clear of Napoli, who also don't have 3 points guaranteed as they take on Juventus. Not that anyone has points guaranteed in Serie A.
Just ask Milan.
Manolas cleared the wrong way. In play for Radu. Quick turn by Biglia, finding Onazi. Played back for Basta. Candreva has Biglia short. He'll find them. Here's the Argentine. Turns in front of Ljajic. The return ball toward Candreva. Knotted down, or chested down rather, by Astori. Totti, a long way from his own goal. Finds the outlet pass to Maicon. Eyes forward from Maicon, looking for options. He'll play the diagonal forward into the hands of Marchetti. Chance on the counter as Candreva is the first man to it. Eyes forward, look for the cross, played it short. Manolas making a clearance before Klose could get a touch.
Good positioning by Manolas, just getting in front of Klose. Had to make it, or else Klose would have had a simple tap-in. Similar goal of what he's done throughout his career. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time, Miroslav.
Here's Lazio's captain, Mauri. Off the back of Pjanic, but it falls kindly for Candreva. Marked by Holebas. The cross is on for Candreva. Holebas happy to just stay in front of him. Pjanic inching closer. The cross does come in, but it's blocked away, and giving away a corner kick is the Greek international, Holebas. 89th minute. 5th corner of the match for Lazio. And there is the danger man, Miroslav Klose. Marked by Manolas. Candreva's delivery toward the penalty spot, knotted away by Strootman. Onazi looking for an angle to find the opening. Instead, he gives it away to Roma. Now a chance for the counter. Strootman, Totti, Maicon. Dangerous ball given away by Maicon. He has to hustle back now. Here's a chance for Candreva. Taking on De Rossi. Mauri tried for the heel flick. Close it, denied. Potential game-saving save there from Morgan de Sanctis. Another ball sent in, and De Sanctis has it safely into his hands.
Great
a little
work.
celebration as well.
Yeah, he deserved that. De Sanctis, not his best game as a pro, that's for sure. And that time, one-on-one, Klose makes him. Let's take another look at the replay. Candreva, the cross in, and then from that position, Klose shoots it in. Brilliant reaction save there from De Sanctis. That time, a goal-saving, point-saving save from the veteran goalkeeper.
45th save this season for the man who came into this game having saved 84% of the shots he faced on target.
Their statistics suddenly making a lot more sense. Goalkeeping statistics.
You say numbers don't lie. Here's a chance now for Destro. Just got his touch wrong. Candreva picking it up, finding Mauri. Candreva. He'll take on Holebas. Onazi on the near side asking for it. Mauri and Klose going into the box. 4 minutes of added time as we're beyond the 90 minutes of regulation. Pjanic under pressure from Parolo. The release valve is Daniele De Rossi. But they'll let Pjanic be the man to build from the back. A bit of a heavy touch, maybe some tired legs from Miralem Pjanic. Biglia. Safe pass for Radu. Less safe as it's intercepted by De Rossi. Ljajic. Not a lot of urgency to get into the 18 from the entourage accompanying Ljajic. Gets the shot off. It doesn't bend in the right direction.
Good work from Ljajic. That's why he was brought on. His ability to create magic out of nothing. That time against two defenders, and he splits Biglia and Basta. Creates space to try that curling effort.
Get this, Mattia Destro doesn't have a touch yet, officially anyway. Never really in control. Did have a quick touch where he gave the ball away, so that's easy for Morgan de Sanctis to pick up as Cavanda involved in the attack. Candreva is the look of a man who has left it all or is leaving it all on the pitch. Strootman. For Ljajic, Maicon venturing forward. Ljajic has spotted him. He'll try and take Onazi himself. Instead, he'll square it, finding Manolas. Here is Maicon. A couple of passes now misplaced by the Brazilian, but nothing too troubling this time. Next up for Roma, they'll be at Palermo on Saturday. In week 19 in Serie A, Lazio they'll pay a visit to Turin as they take on Torino in the Coppa Italia on Wednesday. And then they get Napoli in Serie A on Sunday. Another huge contest. Things get a little bit, I wouldn't say easier, but perhaps more accessible for Lazio in February and March. Holebas' cross, an early one toward the back post. Totti was there, but so was Cavanda. One back by Maicon against Mauri. Maicon just given away. Cavanda makes the clearance.
Tell you what, you'd think Totti was Luca Toni with the way he's been targeted inside the box. That time Holebas getting forward, looking for Totti on the far post once again, but defender does better now to corral it before the captain does.
Manolas has to adjust to receive from De Sanctis. Final minute. No stoppage time. We've seen history made at the Stadio Olimpico. As the 10th and 11th derby goals for Francesco Totti, who stands alone as the all-time leading scorer in Serie A in this derby. He may have more. Cavanda able to make the clearance. Totti giving chase. He wants more. Maicon. A return ball for Totti. Why not? Trying to give it back. Cavanda stepping in front of it twice. Now Mauri. The chance perhaps for one final counter from Lazio. Cavanda, the fresh legs. Cavanda will take on Manolas. Slow to react, but so quick on his feet. He's played 94 minutes.
Beating Cavanda, one of the fastest fullbacks in Italy, after 94 minutes of work. That is really incredible.
Orsato aware of the final few seconds, and there is the final whistle. Roma 2, Lazio 2. Two first half goals.